Welcome to another episode of Players Talk Business Podcast, Season 2. Man, we got a really dope guest in the house today. A former teammate of me and Kayvon's. He went to Akron, a former Mac brother. He played with us for the Cowboys, but he also played for the Chiefs and finished year 7 with the Raiders. Man, he's impressive. I'm glad we got him in the house. Jay March-Lillard, brother. What's going on, bro?
Man, doing well, man. I'm excited to be here and excited to get into this conversation.
That is crazy that we all came from the MAC.
I know.
We was just at your bachelor party. Who was we talking? We was talking about with Rose.
Rose played in the MAC.
All of us was from the MAC.
You know crazy. Rosie Nix?
Yeah, Roosevelt Nix.
Yes.
He played for Kent, right?
Yes, legend, bro. Legend.
D tackle turned fullback.
Yes. Because we're all kind of similar. Like, if you come out of the MAC, you're kind of like a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
You can be developed into.
For sure.
Hold on. Did you play D-line?
He was in he was in your division though. He was on your side of the conference.
Side of the conference. Yep.
Yeah,
he
was a dog.
He was tearing people up.
He was a dog. Jay March was a dog. You and Jayon Brown, was it Jayon Brown?
Jatavis.
Oh, he was a dog, bro. Y'all, I know. I remember the scouting reports. I'm like, dang, they be running, boy.
But Jatavis came out. He came out our year. Right? He came out our year.
He came out a year after me.
Yep. Yeah. He almost took my head off in the All-Star game. I remember that.
Bro,
he was flying.
He was like 4.3 speed at linebacker.
Man, but back to you, bro. How? Yes, so you're back in Texas, bro.
Back in Texas.
Bro, talk about this last year of finishing with the Raiders, and now pretty much, are you calling it a career?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, my agent, we haven't really sealed the deal on that just yet, but from what it's looking like, I'm definitely exploring all my options and going into my next phase of life, which I'm super excited about. But got 7 years in. The last year was pretty crazy. So let's just go through that year for a little bit. So I started off with the Tennessee Titans. Played all the way up until really I got COVID, and then I was done for like the first 2 weeks of the season, and then I worked out for probably 15 teams within that time frame.
My gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I was legit. I had like my travel suitcase that I took everywhere.
How draining is that, bro? Because I know, but people don't understand that, because everybody like, oh well, you try for NFL team.
Yo,
you leaving your family. Like how like speak on how draining that is.
Yeah, it's real draining, because it's like you go with these high hopes for an opportunity. So it's like, man, I got this opportunity. I'm looking forward to it. So I've been working out for it. I got the experience. And I'm not gonna lie, the first workout you have like with a team, I was like, and I think I had worked out for the Niners, and I was like, this is like crazy. It's like different. Like, I'm really doing drills. Like, I'm at pro day, all that kind of stuff. So I had to get used to that. Once I got the first one under my belt,
you knew what it was.
I knew what it was. So I was like, okay, this is how I can work out, because I was like squatting on certain days, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call like,
yo,
hey,
you got
I thought you were saying you was squatting for the team.
No,
I was about to say, God damn.
Bro, at this age, never.
No. But you do. You have to train your workout.
Put 500 on your back. I want to see you at 10.
That would be ridiculous, bro. But no, you have to train accordingly, because you have to be in a taper period for like 6 weeks, bro.
Yeah, bro, I was on the field every day. So I wasn't even lifting. I was just going to the field.
I didn't really
doing all field work.
That's actually smart.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect. So I was like just using my normal training regimen. I'm squatting on this day, and then I think I did like a Friday squat or something like that, like a heavy squat, and I get a phone call like, come work out on Monday. And I was like, my legs were just now like starting to recover a little bit.
Yep.
So after that, I was able to kind of taper all my workouts, you know what I'm saying, during the week leading up to like, okay, I might get a phone call here or there. But yeah, all those workouts, man, you go in and you see a lot of people, and then you're like, man, I just saw you at the last workout. And then you see, because you know what I'm saying, you're working out with all the linebackers, you like, and then you'll see like they come up to you and be like, man, it just didn't work out. So I actually worked out for the Niners, and then they were like, hey, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna sign you. So this is how crazy this went. They're like, yeah, we're gonna sign you. So then I was like, all right, cool. So I signed the paperwork, then my agent had to sign it or whatever for the contract. And then
I remember this.
So then the GM walks in, and he's like, man, I just realized that you're as old as you are, you know what I'm saying, we miscalculated. We didn't have another vet spot for practice squad.
It was like 4 vet spots.
It was like something like that. And they were like, in our running back, we just put him on IR, so we got to sign a running back. So then I was just like, dang. So like they had sent everybody back to the hotel. I'm like, I'm staying, and my one of my good friends, Trent Sherfield, we grew up together. So he was there. So it was like, man, it's going to be good for the city. You know, we all coming back here. Like, we all going to be together. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We played on the same high school team. It's, like, big for, like, our city.
That's
we the
a
only
big
two.
story.
Big story. And then they was like, nah, it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? This all happened. So I had to hurry up and get on the flight because I didn't want to miss the flight. I was like, I'm not staying here an extra day. Like, I'm already, like, upset about it. So then it was like, man, if we ever get a chance to get you down that road, we will. And sure enough, like, probably came around, like, might have been, like, week 9 or 10 where, like, they needed somebody. So they called me and signed me. And I was there for a week. And then after I worked out for a couple other teams, and then there was like a dry period. I didn't get any phone calls, anything.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how funny it was. So I got one game. You know, you need 3 games to get that year in.
Yep.
So the Saints called me. I just ordered a pizza. I'm chilling, like football pretty much done. So I ordered a pizza. I ordered a pizza on a Sunday. I'm getting ready for the Sunday night football game as a spectator. So I get a phone call, and they're like, yeah, hey, do you think you can come play tomorrow on Monday night? We'll put you on a red eye, get you out here, and you'll play tomorrow night. And I'm like sitting here with this pizza, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. It was like all our guys are down with COVID. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody. So I went out there, and they legit sent me.
I seen you guys running on kickoff.
Yo, that's wild.
Bro, so I'm fresh off a pizza, kind of like, you know, toned down on my working out.
You had a Coke. I mean,
I'm
was
like
chilling.
So I'm like
A glass of wine and everything.
Bro, I'm chilling. Like I might have had a Miller Lighter.
You
So
you about to turn on Sunday Night Football. You
as a
like, hell
spectator.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is what everybody do. They get the pizza, the beer, and they chilling out. So they're like, yeah, can you come play? I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So I hopped on a flight, spent the night at the airport hotel, went to the team pregame meal, and then played. And I was like starting on all 4 phases on special teams.
Bro.
Yeah, and actually, I didn't have like a bad game. I didn't make like a ton of plays, but like it was like, man, fresh off the couch. You know what I'm saying? You came in, you did your thing, and then I would think I was in the locker room, and then I get a phone call from might have been Rich. And he was like, where are you at? I'm like, I'm in the locker room. He was like, I need you to leave the locker room. We're signing you. And I was like,
oh
yeah. So you know, once they sign you know what I'm saying, you got to be on the roster or whatever. So I was able to like get my next, and these were like the last few weeks of the season. Yep. So I was able to get like my official year 7, and obviously big for retirement.
That's
and
a
benefits
big,
and stuff like that.
Big time.
But that's how funny it came. It came from, you know what I'm saying, I was just chilling, eating a pizza, and
then
I got a phone call, and then that led to come out here and play, and I was able to go out there and kind of, you know what I'm saying, do my thing on special teams, and then end up getting signed right after that.
So the 15 it was really 15 workworkouts?
It was close. It was close to it. It was close
towards the end of it, like, you know, the last few workouts, where you just starting to lose hope a little bit. Like, was it like, man, like, why keep going to these damn workouts?
It's mentally draining because you like, man, even the workouts, I had a workout with the Jets, and I felt like I did as good as you could do for a workout. I'm talking running around, didn't drop a pass.
And that's funny you said that. I felt my Jets workout. I felt the same way.
I was like, yeah, this is the one. So I'm like, everybody else, you know, they dropping passes, they doing all these things, and I think this is how crazy it was. I think they ended up signing somebody that was on like a CFL practice team or something like that over everybody that had been there, that had worked out. And it was just like, because he was a younger guy, wasn't taking up a vet spot.
Yep.
Have anybody ever worked out for Houston? I mean, I know you.
Yeah, I worked out twice for Houston. Yeah, Houston is your last stop. If you go to Houston, it's your last year.
See, I didn't get Houston in. I got
Houston don't sign nobody the first time you work out.
If you go to Houston as a vet, it's your last team. Yo, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I think the worst one was probably the Titans. The Titans, like they got a tough, like,
I heard they shit hard. Yeah.
Everything over there is like college, but I love it because it's like it kind of puts you back in that, you competing and stuff. But I had just been there, just had COVID, and they might have been. I worked out for them probably the week after I worked out for the Niners, and I was just here 2 weeks ago. They made me do a full blown workout. I'm doing punt set. I'm covering punts like 40, 50 yards. Like, and then I gotta jog all the way back, do it again. Like, I'm actually doing like real, like, you know what I'm saying, real workout. I'm like, I was here the whole off season. Like, yeah. So they want to make sure, you
that's
still in
pretty
shape.
intense.
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense.
You know what? The only thing that beats that probably is the Chiefs. My first time ever doing a workout was coming off my ACL injury. This is my first workout, so I'm kind of hyped because it's my first time doing anything. Did a full combine workout on everything.
You ran a 40?
40.
Oh.
Broad jump. Shuttle, routes. And when I say routes, I think I ran 21 routes in a row. And then at the end, we did running back drills, and coach was like, the position coach was like, all right, I want to see you spin, jump cut. Bro, this is an hour and 10 minutes in. He was like, I want you to spin, jump cut. And I was just like, bro, I got into the locker room and fell down, dog. It was the hardest workout of my life. That was the hardest workout of my life. And it's crazy that teams do that to you.
Yeah, they'll put you through there just to see how much you
can withstand.
How much you can withstand.
Oh, my God.
And then you get back, and then it's like, okay, nope, we're not going to sign anyone. It's like,
Bro, I had a similar
that.
workout with the Raiders. This was going into the right before the first game of the year, and you know how they got that because vets, if you sign and you're on the roster, week one, your whole season is guaranteed. So I had a fire workout. I actually worked out as linebacker. And
I remember.
So I worked out as linebacker.
Swole ass.
DB, working out as linebackers, and we doing all DB drills, flipping the hips. I'm killing it.
And element.
Bro, I was in my element to the point that they kept me around to do DB workouts after. So I did the whole linebacker shit. I did like half of the defensive back workout. They told me they was gonna sign me. So I'm leaving they told me they was gonna sign me, and they was like, after week one though. So we're gonna call you after week one and sign you. Like they call my agent hype, stuff like that. So I'm calling everybody like, yeah, shit, I'm about to be on the Raiders.
Yeah.
After week one, I ain't heard nothing. I'm like, what, bro? Week 2, week 3, I'm watching all their games and stuff. Didn't hear nothing until Basaj took over, and that's I respect Basaj a lot, bro.
Man.
I respect him a lot because a lot of coaches, like, bro, in the league, I mean, y'all know, bro, it's every man for themselves, even the coaches, every man for themselves. But Basaj, he always been true to himself. Like, I fuck with Basaj.
Yeah, he keep it real too.
Even when he came to got you, bro. Like but the Raiders was dope, bro.
Yeah, it was bro, love.
Vegas dope to play for you. You played it for.
I was there for 10 days.
And it was dope.
It was live.
The view was
It was
crazy.
during training camp. It was during training camp, so it was a different vibe.
Yeah, it was a different vibe.
It was a different vibe,
yeah.
but yeah, no, I remember the OC coming up, talking about how I was killing it. Yeah, this ain't the first time I heard this, so I don't really, I'm like, oh, I appreciate it, coach. And then 2 days later, I had to get released. But that's how it goes. That's the business. And I'm in year 6 as a running back. That is what it is. And if you don't establish yourself early, good thing y'all developed a relationship with Coach Bisaccia, because you got to know somebody in this league.
Yep.
I remember my workout with the Colts. That's when I knew I needed to start looking at transitioning, because Chris Ballard, assistant GM, Ed Dodd, we were just talking about this off the mic. But, after my great workout, and they were going to sign me, but we sat at lunch and talked, and so they were like, so what do you think about this guy? They started asking me about different guys. And I'm like, there was some kind of pipeline between
It was running
Dallas.
backs? They was asking you about other running backs?
Running backs, linebackers.
Shit.
They were asking me about people. And so they were like, man, they were like, you got really good insight, because that's exactly what we had on our board. They were like, when you're done playing, would you think about like coming to like work as a scout? And I was like, did I not just sign to play today?
It's funny you say that was my exact experience. Like, I go there work out, I'm like, oh, I did. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, you'll come here. You know what I'm saying? Do you think on special teams and all that? And then they went from like, okay, I killed a workout. Then after we're talking, he's like, man, Jay, I missed you, all that kind of stuff. And he said, what do you think about doing after football? I was
he
like,
thinking about business.
Bro, they're about it.
Yeah, they're about
business.
it. What do you think about doing after? And then at that point, I was like, that was actually one of my final workouts. And then I was like, okay, maybe I probably should start thinking about like what I would want to do. After, and I think the Raiders ended up signing me after that. But it was just like the similar conversation, like what's your plans for after football? Yeah, you ever thought about getting into scouting, all that kind of stuff? So if you know somebody,
that's a grind. Like, if you want to stay in the game of football, you got to choose your path, because it's a different grind. You got to be committed to it, because we all know. We've been through it. We all know everybody's roles and what they had to do.
But every position in football is a grind. Like, whether you're a player, whether you're a
every
GM,
single position,
a coach,
now
the fucking equipment managers.
There's
it's all a grind.
There's one key difference. is
Kicker?
salaries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You a player, you going through it, but you getting paid, right? Some of them different positions in the organization, they're not talking about anything. So you have to make sure you're dedicated to that grind, knowing you ain't gonna get paid nowhere near of what you expected.
Right.
And I think that's why a lot of people like want to get in the scouting game and want to do that, but you better be locked into say hey, I want to be a GM. This is the process I got to do.
Yeah.
And you got to know it. But if you're just trying to have a nice little salary in the retirement,
that's a lot of
take
work.
care of your family, you got to find the right position.
Yeah. And because you say that, how I feel about it is like it's a great, like if you want to go into coaching as well, it's a great avenue to say, okay, I'll do this, but this will help me evaluate talent.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing is like if you have a passion for evaluating talent and stuff, that'll help you become like a better coach one day, or a GM and stuff like that. So learning how to evaluate talent is like different. Like we see it from a football aspect, so that's why most former players can be good. 'Cause you're like, okay, he's doing this the right way. They're understanding the system. You'll be surprised how many people that like go into scouting that really don't understand everything about how the defense is supposed to operate. And I think like that's why former players do well in like those type of roles, or people with good football knowledge, because you understand like, okay, the safety's playing it this way, so the linebacker might play it different, and he played it accordingly to how it was supposed to be played. And I think that's a great thing for like coaching and talent evaluation, is like that's why I would have wanted to do like scouting, is to evaluate talent, to learn that skill set
for that process. Honestly though, what I've learned too as I've gotten older and gotten to know guys, bro, defensive minds are a little different. Yeah. Because y'all are reacting, y'all are playing chess, and y'all are reacting to the offense. And so, like, I've realized, like, when I talk to offensive people and when I talk to defensive people, it's very different conversations, bro.
I think defensive players know more about football.
They do, 100%.
Yeah, you have to.
Every defensive player I talk to knows so much more about the game.
Bro, you have to. You have to.
Yeah. They know about every position. They know about formations. And I'm just like, we know because we run in these plays, but we're just kind of reacting to y'all, but we're running plays here.
Right.
And you and you guys only know like the system that you're playing in.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
We're having to learn all these different offenses and defenses, right?
Yeah.
Because we have to study what the other team is playing to match it up with the team that we're playing, right? So if we're playing the Chiefs and we on the Cowboys and we watching the Raiders play the Chiefs, like we studying what the Raiders is playing on defense to be able to match it up with their offense, right? So we're studying both sides of the ball as we watching film.
And I can see it.
Yeah,
honestly, as I've gotten older, I was like, man, like, bro, I would have probably had more fun playing safety. Because I like that mind game. Yeah. I like the movement. I like the mind games. Yeah. I like being the leader. Like, as a safety, you got to be a leader. Linebacker, you got to be a leader. And it's just different, But I just had to throw that in there because y'all are immediately talking about schemes. I'm like, this is another defensive conversation. Like, but that's what y'all do.
Who was one guy that really expressed or showed, or was an example of that, like, leadership guy? And I think I know who you're going to talk about. Who understood football the best that you ever seen?
Sean Lee.
Oh, I knew you was going to say
the general.
And I've been fortunate enough to play just with like the journey of my career, playing with Derek Johnson, starting next to him with the Chiefs, playing with Bobby Wagner and KJ, seeing how they operate, and it's just different. And then you got SeanLee. He's in a
what's different about him? What's different?
All right, so Derek Johnson is like the ultimate playmaker. Like he understands like the scheme, obviously, of football in general as a whole, and he also understands like what has to happen. So, like, for example, he's like, okay, if the slot receiver drags, it's a dig coming from the backside. So he's already knowing by like the formation and everything, like, okay, this is how I can make a play. This is how he's just a complete playmaker. And he was like super unconventional in like his tackling because he was chopping a lot of people down. Like, so he going at the knees. He was super athletic, great leader. Quiet, but he made like his playmaking ability, I think, is what kind of set him apart. And then Bobby Wagner and KJ, some of the best vets you'll ever be around.
Yeah, KJ cool.
Yeah, some of the best vets.
I had the privilege to play with KJ. He was dope.
Yeah, yep. So they teach you everything, and obviously KJ, good at just about everything. Bobby Wagner, great tackler, great leader. And then you got Sean Lee, which I think is just in a category of his own when it comes to like he understands football from the quarterback position, the whole offensive line, the way the tight ends are supposed to be blocking, how the defense is supposed to be reacting, what the corner has, what the safety has, what your other linebacker has, and it's like it has to, like, this is what it is. And even in walkthroughs, he would go off on like the scout team for doing it the wrong way, and that's just because he knew the tackle. You're supposed to block here. This is supposed to be open. This is where I'm supposed to be at. He was so dialed in, but he never. I mean, he never slept. He was all football all the time. I think we went to a wedding one time, and everybody's like, "Man, I'm trying to, have fun, have a couple of drinks." And you go up to him, he's like, "Hey, let's do it, man. We need to, we need it this year. Like all about football all the time.
He was like that. He was like that.
Bro,
he was like, Kayvon, you got an opportunity this year. Let's fucking do it.
He's
bro.
so serious all the time.
Yeah, but then Sean in his natural element is a super good dude. I still talk to him. He's one of the guys that calls me all the time. But just like football knowledge, great leadership, and I've never seen a day where he didn't practice as hard as he could.
Oh,
he would practice until.
Oh, it was annoying.
Hamstrings was gone, but he ain't care.
Bro, he
was.
My first practice with the Cowboys, I think I was like, I just got off a flight and everything. And I'm practicing, and he tackles me, and I'm like, but he tackled me, but he dumped me. I was like, bro, in practice, like I'm just giving a look.
Yes.
And he was like, yeah, Sean's gonna go hard on some. So I said, okay, so I start giving him back a little bit, but. No, Sean, that's just how he is.
No, I had to put him in like a mini headlock one time because he was trying to dump me, and I was like, "Bro, you did it yesterday. I can't allow it again on film. I just can't have it." And he was like, "I'm just trying to work my technique." I'm like, "Okay, bro, just don't dump me, bro."
Yeah, he was obsessed. Like walkthroughs. He's dumping people in walkthroughs. If I could look to one person, it's like, okay, teach me about the defense. He will tell you every single thing that everybody has to do.
What type of life? What did you learn? Like what from Sean Lee can you learn about life and translate it to life?
Yeah, just about like if you really have a true passion for something, you put the work in for it, and that's what Sean was always about. He was passionate about football, so he put the work in. So I think one time I had to forget my backpack or something. I come in to get my backpack at like 7:30. And Sean's in the team meeting room watching film on the big screen.
He's all in, bro.
And I was like, as a father, as somebody who's walking this earth of life, I was like, man, I want to be so passionate about something that like this is who I am, this is what I want to do, and give my all to it. Sean didn't really believe in let's wait until tomorrow. Yeah. It was always like let's do it today. Let's do it today. And even in practice, I would be like, "Hey, Sean, you want me to run some routes for you, tomorrow?" He was like, even though he might have been tired, his legs might have been hurt or whatever, he was like, "No, I want them now because I don't want to wait until tomorrow." Yeah. He was like all about today. So in life, for me, I kind of took Sean Lee as somebody who he loved something. He was super passionate about it. He gave his all to it, and he couldn't wait until tomorrow. And I think that was like the biggest thing I took away from Sean was like, if you want to be great, you need to be great today. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until, all these things happen. And even when I was, going and going from football to real life and a regular lifestyle, Sean was somebody I confided in.
Right.
And it's funny because he's a big football guy, but I got so much knowledge from Sean just about life and pursuing, greatness in anything that you do and being relentless in your attack and your approach. He probably won't want me saying this, but he's one of the guys who, when I was kind of down, and Kayvon, that reached out to me, and it wasn't even about football. He's just like, man, I know you know what I'm saying, you going into real life, like Kayvon called me, and, when football is done, you got to find your identity. And Sean was like, you just need to take everything that you learned in football and basically apply that to life, like not having like a tomorrow mentality, but today, if you want to get up and change today, you know what I'm saying, you got to do it. And that's what he did.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's real.
That's
really.
And I've been really taking an approach like that. Oh my God! And I'm glad you said it because now it's on the forefront of your mind all the time. Yeah. Yesterday, like the list you showed me, Kay. You were like, look at all these things I got to do, and look how many are checked. He ain't have no. But what I got from it was because I was the same way. I had a whole bunch of things on my remind. I'm a reminders type of guy. If it's in red, I'm like, damn, I got to do that. It's in red. Yeah. So it's like I just started just dropping everything I was doing and just do it right then and there. Because it's like, oh, I'll do that around 2. Because it's like, you know what? I could do that right now. Right. I can make that call. Yep. I can make that call right now, bro. I had 3 things to do between 8 and 9 today, like 3 calls I had to make. Bro, I made them all and had them all done by 8:10. I did it all in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Right.
And it was the smoothest thing ever because I'm the first person they're talking to today and getting it done.
Yep.
And so, like, that mentality that Sean has, like, I can see it. You just got to live it. You just got to commit to it. And that's something he did. He committed.
He did.
Was like all in.
He committed, bro.
He did.
And that's the biggest thing in life, bro. It's just committing.
So I wanna walk through your journey.
Yeah.
You know, in the league and stuff like that. And I know you went through a lot of struggles, and that's why, you know, you're a big advocate of mental health.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So let's talk about your journey in the league. I know you went through the injuries and stuff like that. You got to play with Pat Mahomes.
Yep, I was there when.
And I remember you was telling me, you know.
Oh yeah, we go through all that. So University of Akron came in undrafted to Kansas City, and you know, the journey kind of started there. You know, obviously it started before there for me, but I got there, and you know, I had to compete with some other linebackers, some other good players, some guys they drafted, all that kind of stuff. And remember, I was telling you, me and DJ, we became friends. So this is when I kind of learned that, like, networking and, you know what I'm saying, asking why are we doing something, between him and Josh Maga, which, you know, some of my really good friends. They kind of got my NFL career started because I was like, when I first got there, they could see, like, man, you hungry, like you got something different than, like,
came from the MAC.
I came from the MAC.
Easy.
That's why. Yeah, you come from
they
the
don't
MAC,
know.
and it's like they don't know, but I'm like,
with nobody in the stands.
With nobody in the stands, just like especially at Akron.
Bro.
Shout out to Akron, but you know what I mean? It was
Akron
like,
or Eastern Michigan.
We was worse. No. We was on the
Who was
same
worse?
level.
Who was worse?
No, we were on the same level, bro.
Did y'all play each other?
Yeah,
we played them.
Who won?
Yeah, I still got a scar from playing Akron.
Who won,
right
though?
here, bro?
I can't
Akron
remember.
won. Akron won.
I remember,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We used to beat both of y'all last.
Right. But they tried to break down a wall. I think they automatically lose. Like,
Oh, I remember that.
they tried to break down a cement
It was
wall.
you on that team?
Yeah. We was on the
Was you in the front?
We was on the not. No,
Was
no.
you in the front?
So we was on the not top 10 for weeks, bro. And then it was my
Remember
turn.
that.
It was like week 3. It was my turn to bust the wall down. So I was like, you know, no one's figured out a strategy yet. We still were struggling. So I was like, all right, let's get it. So I hit it one time with the hammer, and it didn't move. I said, no, we ain't running this back. We're not running it back. So I took my foot, and I just kicked it over.
Yeah.
And then it looked like, you know, but I was like, that was the
Oh,
strategy.
you was the one that kicked it over.
Yeah, I had to kick it over. I just pushed it over because I was like, bro, I'm not about to sit here and try to
Try to
chop
hit the
this
hammer.
down for the game. But
That was like the worst idea in the MAC.
It was that verse, y'all?
No,
no,
wasn't
I
versus
can't
us.
remember who was
Yeah.
verse, but it wasn't verse.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But yeah, hold up. Y'all was definitely similar to our stands, though. I just want to make that clear.
we had a way better stadium, but we just didn't fill it out at all.
Yeah, y'all
We probably had
facility
the
was
best.
straight.
Probably had the best in the MAC facility.
Y'all facility was straight.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
LeBron threw him some money. But anyway,
Yeah, but just a part of that journey, man. So yeah, I went to Kansas City. Obviously, had to work my way up, and I never forget. I started some injuries happened, and at that point, I had to be able to play just about every linebacker position. So somebody ended up going down. I ended up going in, and I wasn't afraid to hit people. So I'm trying to run through everything, and just kind of doing that, learning from DJ. I sat right across from him and side by side to him in meetings and stuff, and just kind of asked him questions, and I just remember like making plays, and it was like, man, you got to make plays. You want them to notice you got to make plays. Like, I'm telling you, this is what's gonna happen. You got, if you see this formation and we in cover 3 and he go underneath, somebody come go get it. So I started doing it. And I actually got cussed out by my linebacker coach for doing that. He was like, you're a rookie. Like why are you going and jumping digs back here?
Right.
And so I was like, I'm just trying to, make a play or whatever. But sure enough, I just kept making them. Had a lot of interceptions, a lot of forced fumbles, a lot of big hits, all in training camp. And then because I'm one of those players where like I work on my craft and OTAs and all that kind of stuff, but I'm different when we put pads on because I can actually hit. I can play real football.
Yeah.
So I already knew once we got to like pads, I was like, it's gonna be different. Like I'm gonna be lighting people up. So went there and ended up rotating in with the starters, and that was the same year that Eric Berry came back. Shout out to him from his cancer journey.
Crazy. That was
So
crazy.
seeing that firsthand, that drove me to, I'm on the field with Justin Houston, Derek Johnson, Tom Bahali, Marcus Peters, Eric Berry,
big
That's
vets.
great.
big vets. So I'm out there and they like, hey, we know what you can do. Let's do it. So it was like, boom, doing that. Ron Parker was there. A lot of the OGs. So I'm just like, you know how it is when you with the starters, everything is way more clean because you're not in there with like with like rookie, you know what I'm saying, D linemen and safeties
to cover up anybody else.
I ain't gotta
do your job.
Just play. So end up making plays, man, and then we end up playing Arizona first week of the preseason, and I run down on kickoff, kind of did like my avoid move. My knee kind of buckled, didn't think anything of it. And then sure enough, like first quarter, one of the linebackers went down, and they put me in. It was like, okay, my time to shine. It's like 3rd and 1. So I'm man to man on the tight end, and he block out. I shot the gap so fast. TFL. That was my first play, you know what I'm saying, in the big leagues. I ended up playing the whole game, finished out, and then got done. Knee kind of swelled up after the flight. It was like, yeah, come in and get an MRI. I'm sure, you know, so you play the whole game. Nothing can be wrong. Get a phone call. They like, yeah, it's like a grenade went off in your knee. It's like, you know, you got – you know what I'm saying, you got all this damage, you got microfracture. You know what I'm saying, we need to fix it. Obviously, you did enough to make the team, but we need to go fix it, and we don't know, you know what I'm saying, how you'll respond to it. We don't know.
And that's rookie year.
It's rookie year. First year in the NFL. And then, you know, for me, that happened. I was like, this is just a, you know what I'm saying, a part of the journey, a part of the hunger, because I had been through so much in real life that, like, football was just like having an injury to me. With how I grew up, you know what I'm saying, growing up poor, small house, growing up with my dad fighting cancer and having heart surgeries and, you know, in a small community, small town and stuff like that, you kind of learn to fight through adversity. And I watched my dad fight through it when I was younger, when he, you know what I'm saying, when he had lymphoma back in his 30s and stuff. Watching him fight through stuff and going through chemo and all that, as a young child, I still remember that like an injury to like my knee was nothing compared to what I watched my dad go through. So it was like, this is easy. So I was like, it wasn't, I think it was like maybe like a 9-month recovery, but in my mind it was easy, but obviously I had to physically work for it, man. End up coming back, winning a starting spot again. And then about, I want to say week 5, maybe, we played against the Raiders. I broke my hand, and they still don't know really how I broke my hand. I know exactly when I broke my hand, because I was like always trying to do extra work.
You punched a nigga?
No, I was so you know, like the Friday workouts, right? The Fast Fridays. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to bounce back. I'm striking the bag after practice. So I'm striking the bag after practice, and boom, I hit it. Whole hand went numb. I was like, dang, I really can't tell nobody. Like, I'm just now starting to heat up. Like, so I went in there and they was like, yeah, it's Friday. We got to leave tomorrow, so it's not anything we can do. So we went out there. They just wrapped it. I played, and then it found out it was broken after. But I knew it was broken. It was purple. I couldn't even move it. So I ended up playing like that, and then they put me on IR, and that's how old I am. Like, back then, once you got put on IR, you were done for 8 weeks. Yeah. So you were like done for 8 weeks. So
she said that's how old I am.
That's how old I am.
COVID changed all that.
Like, you was done for 8 weeks. So, man, got done, and then So at that time, at that time, my dad had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, like before the season. So I was able to, kind of like in hindsight, blessing in disguise, I was able to go home for like away games and stuff like that, and kind of spend time with him. And that was part of like that was like a blessing. So I was like, okay, I can. But the whole time I was fighting to like win a starting spot, because I wanted him to see me on TV in the hospital.
For sure.
And then once I broke my hand, I was able to go home more, spend more time with him and stuff like that. So long story short, he ends up passing away that November, going to the whole off season, still coming off, you know, this is like my second year, really was like my rookie year in a sense, from playing. And then ended up having the most turnovers that off season, feeling good. And then boom, everything happened. Summer hit. They fired John Dorsey from GM. They come in, they trade for 2 linebackers. I end up getting released, signing, and then Miami claimed me off waivers. I end up going there for 3 games. Kind of like, hey, we got to release somebody off PUP. They'll be on active, whatever, and then basically like we're gonna pretty much put you on practice squad or something like that for a week, and then sign you right back. But I didn't clear waivers because the Seahawks claimed me.
Oh my God.
Went out to the Seahawks for a couple weeks. My first game there, we played against the Colts, and then after that, I get back to the locker room after my first game there on a Sunday night, and I was looking for my phone. I'm like, man, I just got here. I'm looking for my phone. It's like, yeah, your wife's on the phone. I had a newborn. Like, my son was 2 months, and she, was on the phone. I just hoped nothing happened to my son. And then she was like, yeah, your little brother passed away. Sudden death type of situation. I was like, my best friend. So once he passed away, I was like, man, because I didn't talk to him before the game. We talked before every game, but I had went from Miami to all the way to the West Coast. So I was like, maybe the time's off. He got work and stuff like that. Didn't talk to him, and then I was like, man, that's kind of weird because we usually talk before the games in the locker room. And then once he passed away, and then from there, the Cowboys called me the day of his funeral and wanted to sign me. And then I think the Bears called as well. And being from Illinois back home, I was like, okay, maybe I should go with the Bears. Yeah. And then I just remember, like, my dad telling me, if you ever get a chance to play for the Cowboys, you got to take it. So I ended up going to Dallas, signed the day of his funeral. Kayvon was the first person I met. So I ended up meeting Kayvon. We was
roommates.
Was roommates.
Yep.
So we end up, I think the first thing we really started talking about was like family, the importance of family, the importance of God and faith.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like at that point where it was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be at, because like it's right in the season I was in my life where it was like, still trying to hold on to this football dream. I don't know what's going on. My wife and kids are back in Ohio. I'm bouncing around. I'm on all these different teams. My brother just passed away. I got a newborn. My dad passed away 11 months before then. So I'm like, I got all this stuff happening. And thankfully, the Cowboys, when they signed me, I know a lot of people was like, man, they do one-on-ones and it's crazy and stuff like that. I was able to come in and actually prove myself because they were doing.
You was good at the one-on-ones.
Because they were doing one-on-ones so late, like in the season, like the middle of the season. So I come in and I'm like, oh, this is great. Everywhere I had been prior to that, they didn't do one-on-one. So it was like you just kind of hanging around. And
Yep.
So they like, man, it's just crazy here. The Cowboys, man, we still do one-on-ones. I'm like, okay, bet. So I started doing it, and I was just killing it.
Yeah.
And then I remember them asking me, so when's your family coming down here? I was like, you sure I can bring them? Because I don't know if I'll be cut tomorrow. Yeah. Like, so they were like, nah, what I'm saying, you'll be good. Just bring them down here. So they end up getting them down there, and that was kind of like it.
Yeah.
Did that kind of like calm the storm? I mean, you went through a lot in a span of 11 months.
Yeah, and that's why Dallas and all my teammates in Dallas hold a special heart. I'm at a special place in my heart because I came at such a broken time in my life that, like, meeting guys like Kayvon, meeting you, Jamil Showers, Anthony Hitchens, like all these guys were like so encouraging and you know what I'm saying, so supportive of like what I had been through, Dak, Zeke, all those guys. I'm like, man, like it's like a family feel around here. Like everybody is, you know what I'm saying, everybody's nice to you, they're kind to you. They look out for you, and it was just like one of those situations. I was like, man, it just kind of feel right. You know what I mean? All the places I had been before then didn't really feel too much of the family vibe. But when you meet guys, you know what I'm saying, that the Cowboys had at the time, and it was super competitive. So being able to go out there in one-on-ones, and then just being able to, kind of have, I guess had coming from everything I came from, kind of have an opportunity to show what I could do. I had no choice but to, give it my all.
See, that's one thing that Garrett did a really good job of. He picked like a really strong group of men, kids at the time. And he was able to basically raise, raise us, but bring us all up together. You know what I mean? So, I mean, just off the Cowboys, man, I got lifelong friends, you know what I'm saying, that I would have never had on different teams probably because of how they structure the team. Like that competition factor that we was doing at the Cowboys was really what probably brought us all together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like him, let me think, who else? Tyrone Crawford, D-Law.
They did a good job of like keeping their draft picks. Yeah, because your draft picks are really your team. Yeah. And so even if you were 6th, 7th round, if you didn't make the team, they would keep you on practice squad, and they'll give guys 3 years on practice squad. I mean, just to get a chance, and that's what they do a good job of.
Yeah, they do, and it's so big for like character.
I don't know if they still do it.
Well, they still got a O lineman that's been through the NFL pathway program from being foreign. Isaac, bro,
he's been in the D line.
Bro, they changed him to D. He's been there 3 years. Yeah, they changed him to D line. Yeah, third year. That's what I'm talking about.
They do give you opportunity. They do give you an opportunity. Like it was like
that's one thing I respect about the Cowboys.
Yeah, you got to respect it.
Yeah, you get ops.
Yeah, for sure. It's opportunity.
But no, I want to touch on. I mean, you spoke about your faith. You went through a lot, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you got cut. Really your first time being cut from the Chiefs.
Yep.
And your dad passes away. Mm-hmm. Your little brother passes away. Your wife and your kids in Ohio.
Yep.
And you're just kind of on I don't want to say a free fall, but in your mind, you are. Bro, you're battling. Yeah. How did that affect your mental health, and how did you pull through?
Oh yeah, at that time, like I said, I had been through so much growing up that like at that time that was probably the hardest I had been through, because in college, you go from being like team captain, everything's going well, you're playing well, you get shot at the NFL, and then boom, a storm just hit. And I think during that storm, always take it back to the end of 2014, going into 2015, when I gave my life to God, and that was so big for me because fast forward to 3 years later, that's when I needed it the most. So I remember being back in college, and a lot of people think that like you can be in college and you know what I'm saying, you have to go out, drink, party, do all that kind of stuff, which I enjoyed my time, but something was missing. I had this big void of like, what is missing from my life, and something just came across me, and I was like, okay, I'll go to start going to church. I started going to church by myself for 3 or 4 Sundays in a row, and then I had teammates that we would all pile in a car. We would all start going, and then they end up having a Love is Red weekend at the church, which is like they bring in different pastors, all that kind of stuff, and then you got like Elevation Worship and like a lot of these big Christian faith bands and stuff that come in, and I just remember getting saved. I end up giving my life to God, and I was like, I'm going through a different time because I was in a different season. Am I going to make it to the NFL? What am I going to do after ball? My dad just had another open heart surgery. So I'm like, who am I? Like, I did all these good things. I got all these accolades from football, but who am I? And I ended up finding God in that moment that I didn't know I would need him in a storm 3 or 4 years down the road. So that's what I had to kind of lean back on. And obviously my wife, she took so much of the burden off of me just by, the way she, took control and handled my son, the way she communicated with my family, the way she prayed for me when I couldn't even pray for myself. And I think that was so big because you get hurt, man. Like spiritually, emotionally, I was hurt, and I'm still holding on to my dream. Don't know where it's going to go. But I just remember my wife praying for me, praying over me over and over again, that like, that's what kept my faith, because I'm like, I'm too weak to really pray for myself, because it's like, you really have to humble yourself. And I feel like I was really at my lowest point at that time. And to have like my wife and obviously everybody, I'm saying, outside of that was probably praying for me that I didn't hear, forever thankful for that. And to know that like I had a relationship with God, and, I really couldn't give up, just because, my dad, I never saw my dad give up ever. So it was like, I couldn't give up. It was like, that's why I think it's so important that, you do have like that male figure in your life, or someone that brings you closer to life, not so much to only God, but to real life, right? Because you need somebody that will help you through these struggles, and then you also need God at the same time. So I think having my dad, seeing him never give up on stuff, and then having my relationship with God, I think having those two things mixed with all the outside, prayers and stuff like that really gave me the strength to like really say, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then you mix all that in with like love and compassion throughout, like Kayvon and all my teammates, and you and Jamil, and you know what I'm saying, all the guys, you mix love in with all that, and it's a healthy combination. So I feel like that gave me the strength to say, man, I'm getting so much love from my teammates just about football. And I don't know what tomorrow might bring, but today I know I got good teammates that's, ask me how I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? They might come and pick me up, take me places. You know what I'm saying? Like Anthony Hitchens, I'm telling you, dude used to pick me up just about every single day just to come to his house, play Madden. Just because he knew what I was going through. So being able to have people that's selfless like that is what really helped me really get out of that dark time, for sure.
Yeah, it's dope you said that your wife was praying for you when you couldn't pray for yourself, because we all get in phases like that. We all get phases to where we broken, or we feel hurt, and kind of like sometimes, man, we even might be not mad at God, but we kind of even just question it, and discouraged. Yeah. Like, so you need those group of men, and that's why church is important. That's why church is important, because you need to lean on, people at your church. And then, you mentioned your wife. Like, I got a very similar wife, and you do too. Well, fiance, come soon to be wife, who will do things like that and pray over you. Yeah. You got peace at the house to where, like, you can bring up issues to her, and she's not just gonna bring more issues on you. You know, that's the biggest thing that I've been learning too, and the biggest importance of being around more people who are associated with the Bible.
Right.
Yeah, that's dope, bro.
That's good word.
That's dope.
No, it is, and I think you have to go through hard times to be drawn closer to God.
You do,
because if you get everything thrown at you, you ain't never gonna realize it until you in a tough spot.
Yeah. I mean, if you get stuff so fast, most of the time it's not God. You know who's giving it to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like they say when stuff come too fast to you, it's really the devil that's throwing it at you.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you got to build that foundation. You know, all of our foundation has been built by the trials that we went through or that we're going through or whatever. That's when you really, you know what I'm saying? That's when you really build your foundation.
Yeah, you build it.
You know, your principles that you're going to stand on. And like you was able to do that by the trials that you went through. You went through a lot of trials. I seen it. You know what I'm saying? I was right. I was right there with you. Even in your new stage of life right now with the real estate, like it was slow to get started, but you had to build that foundation. You know, it's dope. Yeah. It's dope. Like, man, everything has a process to it. You know what I'm saying? Everything has a process to it. And so with, Jay March, I know you're talking about like going into coaching now. Yeah. Now you move back. So you were in Ohio.
Yep.
You were in Ohio back home, but then you were like, yo, something's calling me back to Texas.
Yeah.
And you back. Yeah. But now it's like, yo, you don't got family here, but you got friends that are family.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But then it's on you to create your next life.
Yeah.
Well, you do got family here.
Yeah,
you do.
I got two brothers here.
Oh, you got two brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, how old are they? Older brothers?
My older brothers.
Oh, that's what's up.
They actually came here when I played for the Cowboys because you know what I'm saying, it was kind of like
so
I brought them.
You kind of brought them.
Don't one of them coach for Prosper?
No, he works for like
he didn't coach for he coached for Prosper.
Well, he did like the what did he work in? He worked in like the developmental programs and stuff for like child like behavioral programs and stuff like that. He was at Prosper. He's down in downtown Dallas. He's in Dallas ISD now. Yeah, and then my other brother, he's a barber up at McKinney.
Okay.
So yeah, his thing is his story was crazy. So I was convincing, come move out here, and he would come visit and stuff like that. And sometimes it take certain things to happen. He ended up getting shot in a drive-by shooting. Got shot in the stomach, and almost lost his life. And moved him out here with me. And see, these are like the blessings of football, right? That like you don't really see. But had I not been able to have the career I had and be in Dallas at the time and stuff like that, who's to know, if I would have been able to help nurse him back and, provide for him and stuff like that. And just glory to God because he then took everything I helped him with, nursed him all the way back to health, my wife, and, he ended up, he's one of the bigger barbers in McKinney. He has his own shop, you know what I mean? So he's doing really well, coming from where we come from. And that's just like a testament. I had to really sit back when I was like contemplating the whole football and transitioning into life that I had to actually look back and say, man, football did a lot more than just like provide that, that playing ability and stuff like that. But to be able to, get my brother out of that environment and stuff like that. And now to see him thriving and I'm like, man, I'm at his house sometimes like, man, you got more stuff than I got, and it's just like because he's worked for it, and it's just amazing to see. So that was like something that kind of drew me back as well.
Yeah. No, and I know just talking about your family, like I know the game of football changed our lives, but it's really like when you sit back and think about it and reflect on it, it was never really about once you hit the NFL, it's not about football anymore, bro. So much changes. Like I remember coming down and now I was living by myself at 22, you know what I'm saying, in my own crib. And I really realized what was important.
Yeah.
We think about just making it, right? And then you're away from your fam and you want them to come down and they start blossoming and then everybody forms your life and your life transitions. And then it becomes what it's supposed to become.
Yeah, definitely.
It's supposed to be about family, friends, right people around growing. Yep. But as the athlete, everybody, like you said, your brothers are thriving now, and now you feel like you're on the other side of it. It's like you're good. Yeah, you're fine. Football provided, you're fine. Right. But it's not about money or being comfortable. It's about purpose. Yeah. And so now you're kind of in that spot to where it's like obviously you have a great story and you're really good at expressing yourself too, and making people feel that love. So that's why I think you would be a hell of a coach, and not even eventually NFL and but honestly, I think you should go somewhere where you can really impact people's lives at the high school level. Yeah. So like what you were talking about, how you were, you want to integrate in the high school level, college level. I think you might mess around and be back at Akron, director of it. We don't know, but I think you have a special.
I know you
gift.
was trying. That's crazy.
That is
crazy.
Yeah, I was trying. It's tough. It's tough because, like my passion is to, and it took me a while to really figure out, because I had to go through another dark time, and that's when you give up football. When you give up football, and I always say like you.
And
I
definitely want you to touch on that, because that's the biggest reason why we started this podcast is because we know that a lot of people struggle with transitioning from sport, sport in general.
Any sport.
Football for sure, because especially if you make it to the highest level, but sport in general.
Yeah. And
so what was you about to say about the struggles that?
Yeah, and I'll touch on that just because, like, you go through so much in life, and obviously with everything that I kind of lost in life, left me, brokenhearted at times. I didn't really experience, it might sound crazy, I didn't really experience like true heartbreak until I gave up football. That's the one time I actually experienced a true heartbreak, or I had to separate away from something, getting to, being away from it, and then having to learn, who am I?
Yeah.
And that's when I experienced heartbreak. When you experience heartbreak, you almost have to figure out, who are you after that? You know what I mean? And I lost my brother, I lost my dad. But when I gave up football, that's when I experienced my first real heartbreak. And I say that because I spent so much time devoted in it. I put so much time on my craft. I did so much on just to work on, football. 24 years of my life I spent playing football, working on my craft. And then when you finally have to separate from it, it's a different kind of heartbreak. And I was like, this is like what I've done. And and at times it's even though it's not who we are, it's who we have been for those amount of years. So for 24 years, I have been a football player.
And people been pushing it on you. You go back to barbecues, your aunts, uncle, hey, football boy. Hey, you know he played in the league. But that's who it is. That's who you are.
But even still, like you go places, people recognize who you is. You get questions. You still associated with football, so it's tough to break away from that identity and to create a new identity.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing. You really got to find like something you're passionate about, and then be able to use everything that you kind of used in football to do that. And the only reason I was able to really, and this might sound crazy, this is just what helped me cope during my depression from leaving football. What helped me was I kind of separated away from things that drew me closer to wanting to play, right? So like material things that I was like, man, I wish I could, buy this house. I wish I could go and get another car and do all these different things. So I had to say, you know what, God, like, I just want peace. And peace is different for everybody.
Man.
And peace is different. I was like, God, I just want peace. So if that means I need to,
peace is the most powerful thing on this world.
And you don't learn that till you get older.
You don't get older.
But the material things, man, I ain't gonna lie, like that was instilled in me early as a kid. And it was enticing. It was like, yo, like, I remember in like when I was like 14, my grandpa talking about, hey, if you set a PR today in track, you get a PS3. Yeah. I set a PR. Mm-hmm. You hit a home run, $100 per home run. I hit 10.
Yeah.
I love that. But then when you get to the league, it does become different. You think about life differently.
Bro, I learned about peace, bro, because, Darius, I know I talked to you a lot about it when my uncle was passing away. He was 97 years old, deathbed. Like pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
Yep. Passing away, and like I was in a phase to where I'm the materialistic things. I'm thinking about all business, and just trying to get a lot of materialistic things, and seeing him and how much peace he had while he was dying. Yeah. He knew he was dying.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want the treatment, nothing. I don't want no treatment. Seeing how much peace he had on his deathbed, I looked at him and he just reverted. I mean, he's just reciting scripture.
Yeah.
Teaching me about the word.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I was like, that's what I want. Like, I want peace like that. Like, it was crazy, bro. Like, he literally was like, I know I'm going to die. God told me this was going to happen.
Yeah.
God told me the body going to break down. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I don't know how, like, whatever you did to get that, I want that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think some of us just get so caught up in the grind
Yeah.
So what I do to try to keep myself always have a perspective is like I imagine myself already having this from what I'm doing.
Right,
You know?
right.
So like real estate, I want this and I want that
Right,
property. And then I want to get this house and then I want to move
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And then I want to become the big. And then I'm like, okay, imagine myself already having this.
Right.
And then I'm like, all right, so I already got everything I ever wanted. I got a whole 9-hole course in my backyard, right? I got everything I ever wanted. I got the Lambos on deck, you know, and I'm like, how do I feel? I'm like, damn, okay. I want to make sure I want to move my my mom down here, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Then you start thinking about the real
thinking.
shit. And so that's what I do. A lot of the times I imagine I already got all this shit that I want.
Yeah.
And then it really calms me down and makes me think about what I really want to do for someone else. And I feel so great when I get a gift for my fiance or for my, my fam or my, I just feel good. I feel amazing. It's like, I was able to do that for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you just serving and giving back.
Man.
The problem with the materialistic stuff is you always gonna want it, and it's always gonna be something new.
And
the world changed.
The world changed. Things decrease in value. Some things increase in value. There's always something new coming. So like, what you really like, and there's nothing wrong with wanting nice things. Like I'm gonna be the first one to say there's nothing wrong with wanting nice things.
I'm always gonna want nice things.
If you want a Lambo, go for it. I always say go for it, but don't let that be all you want. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a peace of mind, and even in scripture tell you like you can, like, the world is yours. You can go and be who you want to be. You can go and make what you want to make, but give back to people and don't lose sight of what's more important, and that's eternity.
Don't put that before God.
Don't put that before God. And you can
that's all that, you know what I'm saying?
You can
that's all that he
whatever.
wants. Just don't put that before me.
And
he don't want you to put this materialistic shit before him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And I knew it was real. I knew it was real because
100%.
when I was in Ohio, beautiful, nice house. I'm on an 1.5 acre, big driveway, big basement, everything I ever wanted.
seen your patio you posted. I was like, damn, that's a nice patio.
Everything I ever wanted, right? And I still didn't have peace. And it kind of hit me then that, like, I got all of this, but if I'm not serving my passion and I'm not giving back to people, I'm not pouring into people, none of this really means anything because I sleep in one room. I tend to use one bathroom. My kids have their room. We cook in the kitchen. We might go outside and play. Majority of houses have that. Now, it's up to you if you feel like I want the big house with all these different things. And there's nothing wrong with chasing it. There's nothing wrong with chasing it and wanting that. But I wasn't at peace because I feel like God was pulling me one way and I was pulling towards like, God, I'm chilling. I'm in this big house. I got a big driveway. So my kids doing donuts in the driveway and stuff like that. So, on their little mini cars. And I was just sitting there and I'm like, even though I have all of this, I still don't have peace. And I prayed about it and with my neighbor. And even though, you can have all these things, you can still not have peace. So if it's somebody out there that's thinking like I want the big house and all that, you can have it, but make sure your peace come before that. Because you don't want to have all these things and no peace. Because I'm telling you, I had it, and even coming back to Texas and being really more involved in other people's lives and kids' lives and getting to see my brother and stuff like that, like my brothers. Stuff like that is way more. That's my peace. My peace is
priceless.
It's priceless, and peace is priceless. Like you can have all the nicest things in the world, and I was like, I'm chilling. I never.
You can't buy peace.
Yeah, you can't buy peace, and I was
you
like,
can't buy that shit.
I never have to do anything. I can just chill here in this nice patio, and I still felt like I wasn't serving God. And to have everything and not serve God is you're pretty much going against His doctrine, and that's why you feel that tugging, like, man, I got all of this, and it still don't feel right. And it was like, okay. So I was like, one day I was like, you know what? I'm putting my house on the market in the wintertime in Ohio, and God, you tell me. Household in 2 days. So I was like, okay, God, I go. After I was internally, I was
like, damn, 2 days. I gotta get.
Internally, you was like, man, I hope this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta get out of here.
Bro, internally, I'm like, I'm gonna put it on the market. I really hope don't nobody like. I'm like, it's wintertime. It's a perfect time to put it on the market. I hope don't nobody come get it. Like, I still want to be here and all this. And then 2 days, it was like offer, boom, cash. I'm like, and then there was a cash offer. I'm like, I was like, man, it's crazy. So then I just packed up and moved. And probably the best thing that's ever happened to me from like, an emotional standpoint, climbing out of the darkness and all that was finding peace. And it's so simple. Life is so simple if you just kind of focus on, your family, your loved ones, and doing something you love. So peaceful.
Hey, beautifully put, bro.
So peaceful.
I don't have anything to say.
It's
I
so
don't have
peaceful,
any.
man.
I'm
It's so
speechless.
peaceful.
That was beautifully put, bro. It's been an honor having you on, bro.
Yeah,
like
appreciate
I think with something like that, you just got to end it. I mean,
Yeah.
you said it. It's about peace, and that's
'Cause
what we got right now.
Because I wanted to touch on the PGA, but I can't. Because
Oh man, hey,
I can't.
forget PGA, forget
Forget
all that,
them,
because at
peace is the most important.
the end of the day, bro. At the end of the day,
But DJ good
that's
at
what
golf.
it's about. Yeah, no, the PGA and Live merger was unexpected.
Bro, I was looking at it on my phone. Like
that was unexpected.
the PGA players is upset because they was kept in the dark.
Yeah,
The PGA players is upset. Yeah.
because they were being advocates for this league,
And then they merged.
and then they merged.
What?
Like, damn, I could have took $100 million.
You can't beat them, join them, right?
No peace.
You can't beat them,
Join
them.
them.
Yeah.
And you know what's better for the game of golf anyway?
It's better for the players. It'll be a lot more money to go around for the players.
Yeah.
To really invest in like they craft. You know what I mean?
And speaking of golf, it's pretty cool how like golf is becoming a fad now. Like I got into it about 4 years ago, and it was.
It's been 4 years since you got in?
Yeah.
Who'd you first start going with when you started?
I started going with
Like any teammates you started?
No, I started going with a chiropractor.
Oh, okay.
He invited me out one round, Matt Pennell, and he brought me out one round, and it was cool, but it was kind of, I thought he was very annoying because he took it way too serious, and I was like, it's like, damn, he takes forever to hit one shot, you know. But then we went again, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
4 years later, I'm like, all right, what you think the wind is doing here? You know?
Yeah.
He's got me now. Now it's like I understand why every shot matters, and I play golf because it's you versus you for real.
Right.
Like for real. Even if I'm playing against you, it really don't matter, because if like I got to get a birdie here, you get a birdie, we tie.
Right.
I don't really care what you do. You know what I'm saying? So like football is reacting, basketball, you can go on and on, pickleball, but golf is like the mental.
I love pickleball though.
You have a bad day in golf.
Pickleball is fire. I watched pickleball on ESPN the other day.
I haven't played
We
it
are
yet.
trash compared to them.
Really? You
Yes.
think we trash?
Oh my God.
Y'all on the
I
pickleball
seen the
team?
strategy.
Bro, I was
now.
doing some wild stuff though.
You were,
We was-
but
we
we
was
weren't
doing
doing
some
the
wild
right
stuff.
strategy. So I was watching pickleball. They both
gotta
scoot
go
up to the
close.
top.
You gotta-
and they're
you
just
gotta
like,
go close.
bow, bow,
Yeah,
bow,
yeah,
bow. It's
yeah.
like ping
I
pong.
watched it. I haven't tried it yet.
Bro, what?
Oh,
I'm getting
man.
I'm getting a court built at my house. I have to.
Yeah, I'm there.
I have to.
I'm there.
I tell everybody that I have to though.
He was on my bachelor party, and he was like, I was trying to pick houses.
I was
and
asking everybody to
I
pick
saw this
pickleball.
house with this dope pool. I mean, it was a dope big old pool with the putting green, and I sent another house, and it was just a little smaller, but it had a big pickleball court.
Yeah.
Just that was the center stage, and he was like, "Bro, we got to get the pickleball court." bro." I'm like, "Bro,"
But it turned out to be it turned out.
Hey, so I was like, "All right, bro."
How many
like,
times did people actually like want to swim?
bro? We got in the pool like for an hour max.
Yeah.
We played pickleball for like 5 hours,
And it was competitive, bro.
Yes,
It was competitive.
And it was, and it was bonding time too.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
bonding time, but
And it's competitive too. Like
Yeah.
like pools aren't super like competitive. Let's
You
just play
gonna
basketball.
swim back and
they
forth?
had a hoop in the pool.
Unless you play
Yeah,
basketball.
he didn't want to
Yeah.
get his dreads wet or something. I don't know.
Bro, I fell in the pool.
But no, bro, like for golf though, it's cool to see like more black people getting involved too.
Yeah.
Because when I first played, like all I saw was like a bunch of white people. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You get it, you know. But now I go to the course, bro, and it's like diverse now, and I love it. You know?
got any of the black ball gear?
So the biggest gear that was started that's kind of swag now that's like is the East Side Golf.
Okay.
And I don't know their full story, but I do know that like two black men started it, and it is a movement. It's even in 2K, PGA 2K.
Really?
My guy's wearing the East Side Golf hoodie polo right now as we speak.
And 2K.
And 2K.
You still play that?
Huh? Yes, because it's golf. It's golf, bro. I'm telling you, it helped my putting.
You
I know how to read
golf,
greens.
like 2K golf.
Golf.
Yeah, it's the PGA.
Oh,
I
not
play-
2K.
Basketball. No,
No,
2K
no,
has golf.
They got golf.
All I
Yeah.
play, I only play golf on the game. I don't play any other game, and it's taught me how to read greens.
When you gonna get a simulator?
Oh, I thought about it real soon.
You probably need to.
Nah, I'm gonna wait.
Bro, you about to buy a house? You need to.
I'm gonna wait. I know I have a room for it too, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna get a net in the backyard though. I'm gonna get a net in
See the
backyard.
Midwest. If you would have had a basement, you would have
Man.
been good.
But anyway,
I know, right?
y'all
The
gotta
Midwest,
get
yeah.
right. That's
you
what I'm
would've
saying.
been
The
good.
media room
I'ma
I don't
get
want to
into golf.
use for a simulator room. I want to have
Right,
when
to
my
be able to
boys come
chill
over, we
out,
watching
yeah.
a fight or something. I want to be set up. But anyway, long story short, we off topic. you need to get into golf, which you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into
because it's you versus you, and your mental, bro. You're gonna be so locked in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Like when I was just explaining, you knew I was into it.
Yep.
You seen it. It ain't like
Yeah, we gotta go, man. I gotta get into it.
Yeah. No, we do. We will.
Yeah,
You know what? Lewis Neal hit me about it too.
All right, let's all go.
That's what I'm saying.
Go.
And
Lou.
for real, it's
Go
gonna be a
ahead,
group.
schedule it. You got the.
I will. No, I will. I will schedule it. We're not gonna play a PGA first round though, because it's $300 a round, and we're gonna go out there and be ass. Down the line, bro. In 2 years, we gonna hit. That's all we gonna hit is the courses. But bro, it was once again. It was a pleasure having you on, Jay March.
I appreciate y'all having me out.
Glad to have
really
you
enjoyed
back in Dallas, dog. So we need to link up more. We need to do more with the fam.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, bro, I know you're gonna be successful in whatever you do.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's just your mindset, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me out, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Always.
I like what y'all doing here, and I always tap in and watch it. So
Most
It was a dope episode.
Yeah, most def. Real quick before we go, where can people follow your journey at, bro?
So on Instagram, it's Jay March, JayMarch, and same thing on Twitter, Jay March, JayMarch.
Consistent.
He's
Consistent.
simple.
Your Twitter takes been a little different lately. I seen you was your Twitter takes were different at first. You was chiming in. I thought you were about to go into the media world.
Yeah. I was
talking about starting this podcast.
I was chiming in. Yeah, I was talking about starting this podcast. So I got some good stuff for the future set up.
And then you got your clothing brand.
Yep. So I got my Elite Faith clothing brand. I've been working on that. Same thing, just kind of diving into the faith and mental health world of life, because I think it's so important.
Yes,
a lot of people go through different things, whether it's women and postpartum depression, whether it's high school kids, just simply not making all area team and stuff like that. So just being able to be something or a company that somebody can lean on for things of that nature, I think is just so big in today's world we live in. It's a lot of people going through a lot of stuff.
For sure.
But yeah, I definitely like what you guys are doing, bringing people on and just talk about life and a journey, because everybody go through different things. So just being able to hear other people's perspective on life and business and what it means to be a father, having Jeff on last time, seeing what he, what I'm saying, just stuff like that is just awesome. So so you can follow me at Jay March, and I need to get back into
your
my
clothing
content.
line dope, bro.
Yeah, the clothing line is.
I need a hoodie again, bro. I don't know where mine went, but them hoodies was hard.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff. Actually moving, and that's another thing. Moving back to Texas, connecting with people, and finding out. You know what I'm saying? Just really connecting, because there's not
opportunity.
There's really no connections in Ohio, and I was like, I'm like overqualified for a lot of the stuff. Like when it comes to like football world and stuff like that, and still nothing was happening. And then I was like, man, I want to launch my brand and stuff like that. I came out here within 2 weeks, found a company that can make all my athletic gear from the ground up.
Come on,
picking all my performance stuff.
That's a blessing. That's what God was telling you to get back on.
Yeah, it was just telling me, because I'm chilling. I got this nice house, and he's like, I need more. I need you to do more for me.
Yep.
And impact the people around you, instead of just sitting in the house chilling, watching TV, and
you're not in retirement mode yet.
I'm not in retirement mode, but I also wouldn't be upset if it happened. I think I'm kind of past that. You know what I'm saying? You get to a point where you're going into retirement, and you get past like that hump that you just came out the darkness, and I'm actually more excited for the things that I have coming up and that I've been working on while I was playing. So the hoodies and stuff, I had them back when we were still playing,
and it was hard.
And it was like I was putting it off, and then I'm now have more time to pour into my son, as he's about to be 6 years old, and my daughter and stuff. So being able to be at home.
Oh yeah, you're never gonna be able to retire.
It's like I'm not in like chill mode. I'm in impact mode. So I'm like,
I love that.
Whatever I can impact, I'm in impact mode
for life. I want to be in impact mode till I'm
90. Ain't none of us gonna be in retirement.
Never.
No.
I can get golf in during the week.
I'm never gonna be in retirement mode. It's always something. It's always something.
I wake up and I work out every day. And I just like go work out, I go in a sauna.
It's a lifestyle.
It's just like, but I had to get to that point where being consistent, that was like the hardest point, because it's like, okay, days I don't feel, man, like I go work out, don't get a phone call, I'm in this slump, and it was just a roller coaster. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be consistent in my own personal health, work out every single day, eat the right way, and just work, just be consistent. And that was like, that went along with the peace of mind, because I'm like, I'm working on myself. So 100%. I had like health and wealth and all that, and being like in shape and all that, and just constantly staying. I mean, y'all know how it is.
Very real.
It's like very real. Like you
go
work out every day, you'll get some clarity.
But nah, bro. Once again, thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
thanks for
Appreciate
coming
it.
on, dog. We'll circle this thing back.
Yep.
Yeah,
We'll circle
do
this
it.
thing
Yeah,
back,
do
and
it.
we're gonna connect in that high school world.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Until
For
next
sure.
time.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Squat.